Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo. Good morning. Want to start off by thanking you guys once again for getting me over 1,000 subscribers. Your support has been awesome, and that really means a lot to me. I can't believe how fast you guys got me there, and it's just going to help me be able to continue to, proceed with momentum and free up a little bit more time for me to just get these videos out and expand into different sports and whatnot. Gonna still be doing college basketball, just kind of regrouping a little bit. And some of you know I just had my first child about a month ago. So been adjusting to the schedule and working things out. And so getting to that 1,000 subscribers has helped me a lot. It's gonna help me in the future, so I really appreciate it. Let's talk about yesterday. And we'll get into today's slate. We have 7 games, and a lot of these matchups look great. There's not like a ton of options on the board. I'm a little early, but I do like everything I found. I'll be looking into some fantasy score options later once that's actually on the board. But as of now, when I was putting this together, there was no fantasy score yet. But so yesterday, Zion Williamson, the one little bright spot in yesterday's slip, he crushed his this played out perfectly. He got the minutes. Utah kept it close enough. He stayed in the game. Took him over 44 fantasy score. He went for 49.7. Dude's been balling. Love to see it. Like he's one of those players that I wish he was on my Phoenix Suns, because this dude's just so cool. But Nick Richards got no dunks, coming off of a 5-dunk game, and 3 dunks last time he matched up against Minnesota. Took him over 1.5. This, I'm not trying to make excuses, but this was kind of a weird situation. He got banged up in the first half and had to leave the game for a while. He had they said a laceration on his face. I don't know if it was like someone's nail or something, but it was, his face broke open. They put that glue stuff on, repaired it. He came back to the game, and then he had they were just he seemed a little apprehensive when he came back, but they were also just fouling him aggressively to send him to the line when he would try to dunk. He tried for 2 dunks after he came back to the game, and ended up just going to the free throw line, pretty obvious fouls. They didn't want him to get an and one. So not trying to make excuses. This play was probably in hindsight something that was a little bit riskier, but I also obviously had no idea he was going to be leaving the game for a little bit. And then, they were just fouling him. So, all right. So James Harden, man, I thought this was going to cash. He had 6 attempts in the first quarter. I'm like, dude, we're on pace for 24 here. We're looking good. And then it was just slow. I couldn't believe he started with 6 in the first quarter and then ended the half with 7. And then came back in, and then, he didn't get it done. He went for 14, 102 to 108, close game, and then he started to kind of put up some more shots towards the end when they were trying to catch up and send it to overtime, but did not pan out. I was so confident in this play too, so bummer. And then Bull, dude played a great game. I'm so stoked on his minutes, but he 0.5'd us, took him over 20.5 points, rebounds. This was looking really good. And then again, towards the end, just kind of slowed down, and Minnesota sort of figured things out and got a decent lead and just kind of, closed out well. Minnesota's playing good ball. And Julius Randle looked good in his return. So that's going to be good for them moving forward. They get Rudy Gobert back. They're going to be ready. So yeah, bummer of a day, but let's bounce back today. So here's what I got so far. I'm just going 1 unit power, 1 unit flex, and I'm going Desmond Bane, guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, over 11.5 rebounds and assists. We're going to go Malik Beasley, guard for Detroit, 16.5 points. They didn't give me a whole lot of options. They had his points and they had a goblin option. And so I would be looking into maybe points, assists, PRA, something like that. But I'm confident that he can get over 16.5 points regardless. So I'm comfortable taking the points. We'll see later once we get to daily grind if there's other options available. I'll talk to you guys about what I like there too. But Draymond Green forward for the Golden State Warriors. Y'all know who Draymond is. 22.5 PRA. Really liking this. It kind of was bumming me out because sometimes Prizepicks will display the Goblin first, and I thought that it was just going to give me a Goblin or a Demon. So I was looking into do I like his points rebounds better, points assists, and then I went to click it to see what his Demon was set at, and then it turned out okay, he does have a regular line. So the 22.5 PRA is absolutely what I wanted most, and we'll talk about it. And then Deni Avdija is going to close this slip out forward for the Portland Trailblazers, who I've been saying all season, actually not all season, but for at least the last 6 weeks, that people are sleeping on the Blazers. And man, I'm pretty impressed with what they've done to just get that team into shape mid-season. Early, third of the way through the season, they started to really pick things up, and they had all these spike games where I'm just like, dude, they're sneaky. So they've been proving it lately, but I'm taking Deni over 28 points, rebounds, and assists. So let's start breaking it down. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor, show me a little bit of love. Likes, comments, all those things help the algorithm. You guys have been awesome about that, and I really appreciate it. You guys have been getting me in front of a larger audience, and it really works. So appreciate the support. So let's start with Desmond Bane here. So I'm going with his rebounds and assists. The PRA, his PRAs have been set pretty high. We're getting the 32.5 again. I think he's probably going to clear that. It's not that I don't like it. It's just the rebounds and assists seem a little bit. They just seem a little bit better to me at just 11.5 because 32.5. He's going to have to knock on the door of 20 points to cash the full PRA if we have the points attached, as where I think 11.5 rebounds and assists is just, he just had 12 rebounds in that last game against New York and 4 assists. So I decided to just go with the rebounds and assists for this. So if we look at that over his last 5, you can even see, 4 out of his last 5. Went for 9 in this game that he missed against Orlando. So somewhat of a slow game with assisting the ball. And he could have easily cleared that, though. A couple more assists, couple more rebounds. But 4 out of his last 5 would go out to the last 10. 8 out of his last 10. And again, another game here against the Clippers where 2 more would have cashed it. So it's not like these are just bust games. It's like, no, it didn't work out, but this could easily be 9 of 10, 10 of 10. So over this 10 game stretch, averaging 35.8 minutes, just 2.5 fouls, not necessarily getting in foul trouble in a place where it would affect his minutes, 13.1 rebound chances, 8.9 potential assists. And I think this is going to be one of those games. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. So he's cleared the rebounds and assists in both head-to-heads. First matchup was from last season, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and then the only time he's played them this season, he went for 5 rebounds, 8 assists. So overall, the matchup is soft. 18th in rebounds allowed, 25th in assists allowed. If we pop over to the shooting guard position, it's a little bit harder on rebounds, but still middle of the road. 14th in rebounds allowed, and then very soft for assists. 27th in assists allowed. So I love this line. 11.5. I was kind of surprised it was this low. I was expecting 13.5. To be honest with you guys. And then when I went over, I'm like, are you kidding me? 11.5. I'll absolutely take this. So in that last game, he did that in just 26.9 minutes. That game was, Memphis kind of controlled the whole time, 128 to 112. Even in just 26.9 minutes, he went for 13. That's why I was kind of thinking this would be higher, but I'll take it all day. His last outing, 16, and then he had a little bit of rest. He took a game off, so he should be in good shape. And we also have Ja Morant is a game time decision tonight. So right shoulder soreness. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. But whether Ja plays or not, there's a case to be made, for if Ja is in, and there's a case to be made for if Ja is out. But neither is bad. So I'm feeling really good about it. Expect him to get some decent minutes. If Ja's out, he'll get a lot of minutes, I think. But if we take a look at, good Lord, 253.5 over under. That's the highest I've seen all season. So maybe you do want those points attached, especially if Jaw's out. But Memphis favored by 9 playing in Memphis. This is going to be a fun game. But yeah, so not like a crazy spread. They're expecting Memphis to win it, but you're knocking on the door of, once it gets into the double digits with the spread, you kind of have to start thinking about a potential blowout. But I think that regardless, I think that Bane is going to get this done. I don't think it's going to be the type of blowout where his minutes are cut dramatically or anything like that. Let's take a look at Daily Grind. We'll see if see what they're saying about it. They like his rebounds over 5.5. I do too. I do like that a lot. 52.07% odds hit the over, -127, and everybody's got a juice to go over, except for FanDuel, -114, so kind of 50-50 for FanDuel, but yeah, if you take this over at BetMGM, you're not getting much. It's a -135, so they really think this is going over. Same with Caesars, -129, Pinnacle, -132. Pinnacle is one of the more solid odds to track. I looked into that after my boy Skywalker was talking about how Pinnacle's the best, and Skywalker is a vet. That dude he knows his stuff, and so I looked into it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna start using Pinnacle as a good reference, because some of these will just be bouncing all around, but Pinnacle does seem to be one of the best references if you want to see like, okay, what's actually going on here. Speaking of Skywalker, you guys gotta watch out that new hairstyle. That dude is not playing around anymore. He's growing the locks out. I love it. So the rebounds and assists over 11.5, they're not feeling, and that's okay with me. I'm not concerned about it. Let's go back and look at it again. Yeah, I mean, like, the other thing is, if we look at the matchup, the assist matchup is the softest thing available. The rebounds at 14th, and then the 27th in assists allowed. And then in the head-to-head, last time he played them, he went for 8 assists and just 5 rebounds. So in this last one, the rebounds actually wouldn't have cashed and the assists would have. So you can't always base it off of odds. It's just like a good tool to get an idea. So they don't like the full 32.5 PRA, 51.63% odds hit the under, -125. And then those assists, they do like over 5.5. So the reason that they're not liking the rebounds and assists is because if you do this math, 5.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, that's 11 flat. And then we're getting it at 11.5. So they're seeing, it's just noticing like, hey, this is not like a value. You're actually getting penalized 0.5 if you take them together. So that's why they're probably not liking it. But they do like his points alone over 20.5. So, yeah. And the PRA is the same story, 32.5. It's more expensive than if you look at these, rebounds, assists, and points alone. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. Didn't mean to take that long on all this. Okay, so Malik Beasley points. Again, let's just start with Daily Grind for this one because I'm curious if we've got more than just his points yet. No. Okay, so yeah, same thing. They have his points and his 3-pointer. So it wasn't the Goblin thing. It was maybe they have a Goblin projected on there, but 4.5 is what they have his 3-pointers set at, and that's a little steep for me. But it's not heavily favored to the under, but that's why I like the points. If they're setting this dude, I think he has the most cashed threes in the NBA right now on the season. Been lights out. And so when they're setting his line at this, that makes me really excited about the points. So if all I can get right now is the points, I'm happy to take it. They have it really juiced to go over. 52.32% odds hit the over, -129. Everyone's got it favored to go over. -135 on parlay play. Pinnacle is not available for this one, but let's keep it rolling here. So he's cleared this 3 out of his last 5 games. We got this game against Denver where he went for 16, so one more bucket, even a free throw would have cashed it. Yeah, he's averaging over this 5-game stretch, he's averaging 4.8 made threes a game, 50% from beyond the arc. So I get why it's at 4.5 because he's averaging above that. Pretty wild. Some of these games against Brooklyn, 63% from beyond the arc. Against Boston, 55%. So some of these games, Atlanta, 60%, 6 of 10, really awesome. He's been Detroit, their new coach, I forget his name, but that dude is a maestro. What he's done with Detroit in 1 year has been awesome. And having Malik Beasley as your 6th man is I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think he does too. I think he loves his new role as a six man. So yeah, over this 5-game stretch, averaging 25.7 minutes a game, you can see he's cashing these. Like, he went for 26 points against Boston in 21 minutes, averaging more than a point a minute. And then 23 minutes against Brooklyn in that last game, went for 18. Let's look at the over under here. All right, 232.5 over under. Detroit favored by 9, so not as juiced of an over under as that Memphis game we talked about, but similar spread. And playing in Utah. I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, playing in Utah. And let's see here. Go to matchups. So yeah, 27th overall in points allowed. And if we go over to the shooting guard position, 29th. So he's got a soft matchup. He's going to be able to get this done. If this turns into a blowout, he's just going to stay in the game and close things out, and they're going to let the starters rest. So feeling good about it. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. Yeah, this is back with Milwaukee. He went for 17, and then 16 against with Milwaukee. So one more, anything would have cashed it. And then his only game with Detroit that he played them this year was early in the season, and he went for 26 points, 34.5 minutes. So he got a lot of minutes, but regardless, was that a blowout? No, it wasn't a blowout. Actually, Utah won that game. So yeah, feeling good about it. Let's take a look at this note. Got a note here. Okay. Malik Beasley has exceeded 16.5 points in 9 of his last 11 games on the road. So he's averaging 19.6 points on the road, 82% hit rate, 11-game stretch, averaging 25 minutes during that stretch, shooting 53% from the field on 12 attempts. He's shooting even better on the road, 55% from beyond the arc. 4.9 made threes is what he's averaging over 11 games on the road. That is insane. This dude, I love it. Okay, we already looked at daily grind, so we'll keep it moving. All right, Draymond Green. I'm really happy we can get his full PRA. I mentioned at the top of the show, I was a little worried that I was going to choose either his points rebounds or his points assists, but I want the points attached because he's actually scoring, in the double digit range in 4 games straight, and it's kind of wild. Like it's pretty. Like last time he played Charlotte, he went for 6 rebounds and 6 assists. And so I'm kind of like, I was leaning points assists if I had to take one, because if you actually go over to the power forward position, it's technically a tough matchup for rebounds, 7th in rebounds allowed, but he still grabbed 6. How many opportunities did he have? He only had 6 opportunities for rebounds in that game, and he grabbed all 6 of them. So we know Draymond is tough. We know he's like really gritty. So a tough matchup doesn't necessarily mean the same thing for Draymond as it does for a lot of players. But the matchup, 21st in points allowed, 22nd in assists allowed. So I was leaning points assists if I had to choose one. And even like this last game against Philly, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So I'm like, which do you choose, points or assists? So that's why I'm excited that we're getting the full PRA at 22.5. Let's look at the head-to-head here. All right, so these are from last year, and he was pretty close, but I think they've got a better team right now. They got Jimmy Butler, and whether or not Jimmy plays, I feel good about this. And then here's this game, the only game he played this season, which was recently, February 25th, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. So I'm going to just stay in the flames with Draymond, and he's looked good. He took a little bit of time away, and he's looked good since he's been back 5 games straight. And doing that on an average of 29 minutes, 44% from the field, just 10 attempts, 4.4 made buckets, not really shooting from beyond the arc much, shooting 17%. We know he can cash them though. That's what's random about him, is like he'll just randomly just pop off if he gets like a clutch moment. So 10.4 rebound chances a game and 10.8 potential assists. I noticed that the rebounds and assists were trending, on Prizepicks. I'm not interested personally. I want those points attached because, like we said, 13, 15, 12, 13. The rebounds and assists, I think, are set at like 12 and a half. Let me see. Yeah, 12 and a half. So adding the points to that is getting the points at 10 even. And so he's 4 games straight of beating that. So I'm like, why would I not? I want those points. He's shooting well right now. So, and he's got a soft matchup. Let's zoom out a little bit beyond this last 5. So it's actually, so yeah, we have so he's cashed the PRA in, this is 7 straight games, and only one of those games he had less than 12 points. So I want those points attached. Let's take a look here. Daily grind. And I gotta get rolling here. I got stuff going on soon. Yeah, so they don't like the rebounds and assists. Yeah, I felt the same way. 53.65% odds to hit the under. Maybe people are taking the under. I don't imagine so, but I don't know why it's trending. Dude, come on. Autocorrect. All right. They don't like the PRA either, but they have it just slightly favored to the under. 50.1% odds to hit the under, minus 118. They like his steals over 1.5. So if we have his fantasy score later, that might be something you guys want to take a look at. They like his assists over. They don't like the rebounds at 6. So yeah, just give me that full PRA. That's absolutely what I'm taking. So you can get his points at 10 flat. I would not take that under. It's favoring it to the under, but like we said, 6 out of 7 games, he went for 12 points or more. Right now, he's kind of in rhythm. So we're taking it over the full PRA. All right, last play here, Deni Avdija. So yeah, 3 out of his last 5 games, he's cashed this. If we look at the matchup, let's see, small forward, tougher matchup against Philly, 8th in points allowed, soft on rebounds, 19th in rebounds allowed, and 6th in assists allowed. But yeah, I'm not really concerned. He just played against Cleveland. That game did go to overtime, but he had a triple-double. He went for 30 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and that's Cleveland. That's a tough matchup. The minutes have been kind of all over the place over the last 5, 28 on average, but you can see there is absolutely correlation here. If you see the minutes, it's like basically the same shape as this. So when he's getting his minutes, he's producing, but went for 37 on 33 minutes, and then he only played 23 minutes and he went for 23. It's wild. 35 minutes, he went for 37, and then he only played 5.7 minutes and he went for 8 in this game against Washington. And then he gets 42 minutes, he goes for 52. So this is looking like a minutes thing. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. The head-to-head doesn't look great. Let's see. Okay, so these 3 games are with Washington from last season. So yeah, and this is from last year, Washington as well. So this is the only matchup with Portland, and that was December 30th, 2024. He almost hit it still. He went for 26. How many minutes did he play? 32. And they're in much more in rhythm right now. They're playing really good. We have a chance at Robert Williams playing tonight, but DeAndre Ayton is still out. Jeremy Grant game time decision. Matisse Thybulle might make his return. I'd love to see that. We got Joel Embiid out for the season. Paul George game time decision. So yeah, not really overthinking this. I think that I think Deni is going to be a big part of them getting the dub tonight. And this is going to be a close game. 228.5. Philly favored by 3 playing in Philly. So yeah, I've got all the faith in Deni Avdija. I think especially if this is a close game, he just went off for 52 against Cleveland, who's much tougher than Philly. So yeah, over this 5-game stretch, 11.8 rebound chances, 9 potential assists, shooting 54% from the field, 11.2 attempts. So not really as much scoring as you would think. Like he put up that 30 points on just 13 attempts. How'd the threes look? He only had 1 3. Free throws, that's where it was. 13 free throws. Okay. And these games where he's got the minutes, so that's where he's cashing in on the points. He's a problem in the paint, clearly. So yeah, love to see it. Love to see him be able to do that tonight. So real quick, before we get out of here, let's look. Wish I could pull up the free throws made. That's not a prop that's available yet. So I would love to see what the matchup is for the free throws allowed, because yeah, I think he's going to be able to get this done. I think especially I'm loving what I'm seeing with the free throws. So yeah, not really doing well from beyond the arc, 31%, 54%. So that's why he's putting up 30 points on 13 attempts, is because he had 13 attempts and then he also had 13 free throws, cashed all of them, right? Let me just double check and then I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, 13 and cashed all of them against Cleveland. That's awesome. And yeah, look at Portland, 129 to 133, sent it to overtime against Cleveland. I love it. They're really putting things together. They're sneaky. So Deni, let's look at him on Daily Grind real quick. PRA top play, 51.96% odds hit the over -126. They like his points, rebounds. They like his assists. They like his points. They like all of Deni tonight. They like his rebounds over 51.06. So let's just take all of it. And they don't like his turnovers. They think he's going to play a good game. 2.5 turnovers. They have favored to the under. So we're feeling good about it, guys. Let's get back on track here. Last night was a bummer. Bull, so close. Harden started hot, ended cold. And then, we got the laceration and the fouling. But Zion went off. So these plays I feel good about. Let's get back in the green here. Appreciate you guys so much. If you guys want to check out this app from Daily Grind, use code BACKDOOR at dgfantasy.com, and they're going to give you 25% off for as long as you want to lock that in, all the way up to a year if you want. And then this is my favorite app, Outlier. I say it every video. This app is amazing. And so you can try this one out for free. If you do, make sure you get into all these little settings, have some fun with it. Let's look at a note from Outlier. Actually, I forgot to do Deni Avdija. He's exceeded 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 8 of his last 10 games versus bottom 10 defenses for assists allowed. This is the type of stuff that I'm saying Outlier puts on your radar that you're not going to just manually go look up. Like, okay, like where do all these teams rank in assists allowed? Let me see how he did that. It's like they do all that for you. I love it. 80% hit rate, 8 out of his last 10 games. He's got this done. And then the games where he didn't, let's look at the minutes. So this game, one of those was obviously that 5 minutes that he played. Of course, he didn't get that done. And then 28 minutes against Denver, he didn't get it done either. But yeah, so if you kind of take out this 5-minute game, that's 8 of his last 9 games. So we're feeling good about it. I hope you guys go check out Outlier, sign up through the link below. You don't need to put a code in, just sign up through that link and they're going to give you a week to have some fun with this thing. So go check it out. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again for getting me to 1,000. I'm going to be thanking you guys a lot because that really means a lot to me. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to like the video, drop me a comment. If you have any questions, I'll try to help you work out some plays in the comment section. But have a good day, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.